Thank you for staying with us. Let's go outside Nigeria for a bit. The U.S. State Department has revoked more than 6,000 student visas in 2025, citing violations such as overstaying, assault, DUI, burglary, and alleged support for terrorism. At least 4,000 visas were revoked due to criminal activities, while around 200 to 300 were cancelled under anti-terrorism laws. This move is part of the Trump administration's ongoing crackdown on immigration and international students, with increased scrutiny on social media and stricter visa screening in place. Some cancellations involve students participating in pro-Palestinian protests, which officials claim include anti-Semitic behavior and support for terrorism. We'll start the thoughts of a global immigration expert, Joseph Babalola, for this conversation. Thank you very much for giving us your time. Let's begin by establishing for a bit what kinds of offense typically fall under terrorism-related concerns in immigration decisions. Are these based on criminal convictions, intelligence, or association? Because what we hear is that some of them fell in because they were at pro-Palestinian protests.
There are a couple of issues that is actually going on. The focus of the American government has to do with security and the fact that over a period of time, they feel that the American society has been inundated by lots of foreigners who, to a very large extent, they actually could not actually fit into the background systems that they were actually looking for. I'll give you examples. You have a couple of people that actually came into the country and they had very, very shady backgrounds when it came to issues of terrorism. And a lot of them actually came on the vice of the F1 visa. Like you can remember, some of the terrorists that was actually responsible for the 9/11 situation that actually happened in the United States, some of them came into the United States on the guise of an F1 visa, and you can imagine what happened subsequent to that. So over a period of time and with different governments and different policies, there has been a change in terms of what is the tolerance level that the United States government is actually going to have. So some of it could be based on conviction, definitely. Some of it could be based on association, right? And some of it could be based on your past and your present behavior. So there are a lot of things that actually goes into it. For instance, if you've had any kind of terrorism training anywhere in the world, guess what? You're flagged. If you've had any kind of weapons training that is outside of a formed union, like the Army, the Navy, and stuff like that, where you could be flagged for that. And then if you have serious offenses, like murder, aggravated assault, and grievous bodily harm or injury to another person, you could be flagged as well. So there's a plethora of things that they actually review.
But what are some of the issues these 6,000 student revocation could, were the affected students aware? Were they given notices? That's some of the issues that are being raised. Did they have a right to appeal before their visas were revoked?
Well, there are a couple of things, and the reason why I can actually speak to this is because I dealt with it. I had clients whose visas were actually revoked. I had a client whose visa was revoked. She was going to school in Chicago. She had nothing. She was actually a graduate student with stellar records who has never participated in any kind of riot or anything like that or any kind of protest. She does her own thing. There is nothing that she has actually done wrong, and her visa was revoked. So what did I do? I took the case up. I took the case up, one, against the school. That is number one. And then the number two that I did was I requested information, right, from them, right, that actually informed the decision to actually revoke. And then I put the onus of proof on the school to actually provide that information. They could not. Then I went to DHS and I also requested information as well. So for a lot of these people, right, they actually were not aware of anything that they had done. I totally understand that there may have been a couple of students that were probably involved in protests and stuff like that, but that was in general. So in terms of the selective process that was actually used for this, it was shrouded in secrecy. No one actually knows. It was just a broad outline of actually just getting a couple of students. Some of it may be based on something you've done in the past or a post that you've actually maybe posted online on social media in the past. Some of it could be based on religious reasons. No one actually knows. But the important thing that you have to do is to make sure that you contest this. And I did, and she was restored.
Okay, so this is one case that you handled. What about the other innocent students who may have been affected, wrongly profiled, or caught in these broad immigration sweeps? What are there protections that exist for them?
Well, at the time when this actually happened, the protections were not immediately there because this wasn't something that was actually expected, right, to happen. Like, you know that the American society has different protections that is actually built in, right, in the Constitution already anyway. And one of it is the fact that you can actually protest, right, without actually being convicted for it. So this was actually a surprise, right, to a lot of people because this goes against the grain of what the American society actually stands for. That is one, case number one. Case number two is the fact that for those that could actually not fight for themselves, guess what happened? Some of us that could actually fight for it either in court. So there were cases that was actually taken to federal courts, right? And these cases were actually litigated against. Through that, we're able to get injunctions. And through those injunctions, the injunctions are general. So once you have an injunction for one client, guess what? It affects every other client that is actually going through that specific situation. So in some of them that could not actually fight for themselves, as long as their situations was actually similar, right? It was very easy, right, to be able to get those same protections for them like I got for my client.
All right. I have so many questions, but we're time constrained. I'll just appreciate you for the time you spent and the insights you've provided. We appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much, and have a good evening.
You too.